Hey everybody, and with Tales from Midnight issue 2 dropping soon, as in a few months, I thought it'd be a good time to talk about what Tales from Midnight is, what it was, what it's become, what it's going to be until the end of this issue, and what it will be in the future. So essentially, Tales from Midnight was originally thought up a as an anthology comic book series, which it still is, that has multiple one shots for stories we wanted to tell but don't have full arcs for, don't have like a full series for, but could become a full series in the future if we come up with more story or if the readers really, really want that story really bad. What it ended up being was a way for us to introduce our characters through an anthology series that highlights a few characters that are going to have series out. So, Tales from Midnight issue 1 ended up becoming four stories that three of those stories are really just introducing you to the character. So Soul, the Gray, and Admani are just taking a little piece from their story that already exists in future issues and putting it in there, or it's taking a little piece of their story that doesn't exist in any issues and just kind of introducing you to the character, who they are, and what to expect from them. They're not fully fleshed out stories, they're just quick little introductory blurbs to let you know a little about the character. Of course, the beginning is the Blue Morpho End of an Era, which is a prequel. It's showing you the butterfly, which, of course, if you have been following us or know our posts about the butterfly, she's a public domain character, first ever African American superheroine that's created in the 70s that we took. We were using End of an Era to finish her story. And then Blue Morpho is our original character, her daughter. And that's who our series will follow afterwards. So that's a little more fleshed out. The purpose of that is for you to be able to pick up the old Butterfly comic books, read it, and it can go right into our End of an Era story and still like make sense. It will all flow together. Then we run into Soul. Soul is just like a quick few pages of just, hey, here's Soul. Here's where he is in his journey. Here's where he's starting off from what you're seeing. And then if you were to pick up Soul issue 1 when it comes out, it'll continue right up from there. And then you'll really get the full story of what's going on. Same with the Gray. The Gray is, hey, here's a little piece of what's going to happen in a future issue with the Gray to really get you interested in, okay, but how are we getting here? What's going to happen? Who are these people? All that stuff. And then Admani is like a really, um, is an introductory little blurb that's literally just written from a future perspective of what Admani can become later on and her what she's capable of, just to kind of introduce you to the character's powers and everything. And it's just a quick one shot, and that's it. Now, Tales from Midnight issue 2 is still going to kind of hold on to the introductory thing, but it's going to go a little more fleshed out. We're going to have three stories in Tales from Midnight issue 2, but these three issues are actually way more fleshed out than the four stories in the first issue. That's why it's longer, despite having fewer stories in it. So you're still going to get introduced to these characters, but you're going to get pretty much a fully fleshed out issue, with the last day being the longest one in there. And it actually got cut short because we didn't want to put any more of that issue in this. So that's what issue 2 ended up being. Now, in the future for Tales from Midnight, the issues are going to be exactly what they were originally intended to be. There will be anthology comics full of one shot stories that may or may not become a complete series in the future. We don't know. Some of them might, some of them won't. It just depends on how we feel and how much the audience or the readers, you guys, like the story that you're reading. Now, so far, we do have one story that's probably going to be in the next Tales from Midnight whenever it does come out. That story is going to have a full series, but at the moment, we don't really have it all fleshed out. We only have the one shot done. So it's going to be in there just kind of as an introductory thing, but it's still more fleshed out than the first issue. Other than that, it's going to be all one shots that may or may not become stories. So I hope that helped any confusion when it comes to Tales from Midnight, what it is, why some of the stories are so short, why they don't seem very fleshed out. Like it's literally just introducing you to the story of these characters to let you know, hey, these are the characters we have. Here's a little bit about them without saying, all right, here's about this character, here's about this character, like we do when we're out and stuff. So hopefully that explained it, and hope you enjoy Tales from Midnight. Make sure you support the Kickstarter for Tales from Midnight issue 2 because the Kickstarter is coming soon. Click on the link for the Kickstarter and follow to be notified when the Kickstarter starts. And for any other questions that you may have, you could probably find most answers at midnightcomics.org. Have a good night.